Well, back on camera with us. Evan Martin playing his Blue-Red Phoenix Drake's deck.
This is typically a pretty tough matchup for Golgari. I think we might see Evan claim a bounty here.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah.
I think Jake was not, he was excited to be the bounty, but confused. Our bounty from last week he had something better to do tonight, so maybe he'll be back. Maybe Jake will retain. But we'll always have one. There'll always be one, and there can only be one.
Mm-hmm.
Somewhat like the Highlander.
Not unlike the Highlander. Yeah, it does depend on how the Golgari sideboard is built, but it's a definite dog game 1. And even game 2, like they get some answers that help, but like this blue-red deck can really grind right along with the Golgari matchup and be a much more explosive on offense.
Oh, we've got a spot on the floor saying that maximized velocity is in this Phoenix Drake's deck.
Oh my, that's interesting.
Yeah, it should be a good one. I guess he's trying to optimize the Arclight Phoenix turns by having a lot of like 1-cost jumpstart spells.
Yeah, that makes sense. And jump-starting a Drake is a huge deal. Rather maximize velocity, a Drake is a huge deal because it's a big chunk of damage.
Yes.
And most of the decks in this format tend to tap out. Obvious exception being Jeskai Control.
Yeah. We have one of those in the room. I was watching, and maybe we'll get a chance to get him on it next week.
Yeah, I'm not sure. We'll try to get it on there. I like the deck a lot. It plays kind of the long game where it gets a lot of card advantage.
For sure. Are they all the way up to 6 Planeswalkers? 4 Teferi, 2 Ralzeric?
It really depends on the build. You don't see as much Ralzeric anymore.
Sure.
But certainly with Teferis and obviously the Chemister's Insights, the Explosion Expansion, just a lot of card draw.
So many cards to draw.
Search for Escanta obviously is still very good there.
Up to the bottom, and Evan, I guess, is hunting a land.
Yeah.
Jade Light Ranger. He's going to get shocked before we explore. Vivian Reed stays put.
Yeah, we need to main phase this opt.
Yeah, so if you're behind on lands, main phase your draw spells so that you can make those land drops still.
Yeah, even if you're looking for land 4, main phase that divination.
There's another Jade Light Ranger. And another one looking at him on top. So here comes the beats.
This is definitely the clock that Jake needs. Evan needs to find some lands quickly.
Concur. Here's a pseudo mana elf. And the mana goblin.
The mana goblin. So I think we've seen it twice now where this Izzet deck, it does run a few less than normal lands because you have a ton of 1 mana spells and you need a certain threshold of cards.
And you have just like a bunch of card draw. So you've got Chart the Course, Opt.
Right. But at the same time, keeping a 1-land hand with Opt is probably not good because realistically you want to get to 4.
Yeah.
So especially on 7, I'd probably throw that back. But that's neither here nor there. Jake is on 6 land. starting to deploy some of the more grindy elements of his deck.
Yeah, once this Raider hits the board and you can't trade 1-for-1 on your removal spells anymore,
Right.
it's just I don't think the Phoenix deck can come back because trades 1-for-1 removal spell for a creature or a counter spell for a creature, but you're never going to get enough card advantage to make up for not being able to make that 1-for-1 trade.
Right. You really need to just kind of burst his life total down before he starts getting into this grind mode. But right now, with Evan being at 10 and Jake at 20, there's just not a real good opportunity to do so. All right.
Well,
Gonna get to draw a card.
That's game 1 there.
Not really gonna do anything for us. All right, so there you go.
So Jake steals 1.
Takes down game 1. Evan, I think, with a pretty greedy keep on 7.
We'll see if he can come back into a better position. So, what do we want to bring in against this Golgari deck?
So he's got the lava coils. That's good. You need to kill the wild growth walkers early. It's the only thing you really need to kill.
So those 1 and 2 mana removal spells.
Yeah. I think he probably brought in a beacon bolt, which I'm not super high on. I would be very intent on going all in on a couple of big flyers and just bursting Jake down before he gets a chance to dig for some answers.
Mm-hmm.
It all depends on what he's taking out, and I think he's going to go light on the big flyers, which is a mistake I see a lot. Well, I think it's a mistake. I don't really play the deck all that much, so can't say for sure.
Yeah, the
taking out shocks, probably not the best because you want to have an answer to Lana or Elf.
And all the Explore guys, so Shock can go Jade Light Ranger and Seeker Squire, which is much less impressive, but still a real threat. With that Explore trigger on the stack, you can get those with Shocks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the strength of this Phoenix deck is that the Phoenix is very hard to deal with. You have to, exile it basically to really get rid of it.
So it looks like we got lava coils, a couple of can't even think of the name of the card, the counter spell that costs 4 more. Which is
Disdainful Stroke.
Yeah, Disdainful Stroke. A little bit suspect.
Nice reprint there.
So it hits the walkers and really, so all of his creatures are going to come in under it. I don't really know what we're aiming for there unless it's just the walkers. But like you have these big flyers.
Yeah.
And if you got maximized velocity in your deck, like the ability to give them haste, even if they're not Phoenixes, then I don't think I'd be too worried about pressuring Planeswalkers.
Right, like the Flyers are going to win the game in 1 or 2 attacks.
Yeah, they get very big very quickly.
Especially
the
strength
if you have the land to cast your spells.
Critical for most strategies.
Yeah, you want land to cast the spells, to deal the damage, to lower your opponent's life total.
And then you eat the pudding pops.
I don't think pudding pops are an integral part of Magic, but I could have been doing something wrong my whole life.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen a pudding pop in the marketplace in a long time.
Yeah, I can't imagine that stock stayed very strong.
Agreed.
Right now, it's the only option for Splash.
I'm sure when the next Ravnica set comes out,
Jake burping the deck a little bit since he's got a double sleeve.
Yeah, when we get 2 more black.
It's one of the things that usually takes, I'd say, about 8 competitive matches for those sleeves to calm down.
Really settle into their normal state. I don't like double sleeving standard decks anymore. There was a time when I was all about it.
Yeah, I think
I think I just stopped caring at some point.
I think I liked it before the flip card became like a commonplace occurrence.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm done with flip cards, man.
yeah,
At least for a while.
I like them as a mechanic. I don't like them as a regular feature.
Sure.
Like-
Robert Meadows has a question for us. Should he play Narnum Renegade at regionals? Yes or no?
Yes or yes.
100% yes. The first yes, even.
Having 4 or 5 mana fireball.
I didn't even read the second yes was a yes. I thought it was still a no because the answer was always yes.
Is it, I just don't.
You don't what?
I don't understand Modern.
What don't you understand?
Like, Robert Meadows won this tournament, and he actually, like, literally had Narnum Renegades in his main deck,
Sure.
and it might actually just be a reasonable card that I just don't,
Wouldn't go that far.
and I just don't know that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so I mean, it's pretty
just be
obvious
wrong.
that Narnum Renegade's like good against certain cards.
Sure.
Like trading that for like a Goyf or, God forbid, like a Reality Smasher, that's amazing. But
Sure.
it also just does nothing against most of the format right now. I guess it jumps in the way of some humans, but you're not really gaining any mana advantage.
Right. Talk about a deck where the advantages are slim. That Humans deck.
Yeah.
Whew.
It's a good one.
So Evan's got the Arclight Phoenix in his graveyard, and this might be... I mean, this is where you want to be with this deck, right?
It is. You're fighting through a Wild Growth Walker right now, and it looks like he doesn't have an answer for it. So, the onus is really on him to... Oh, he does have a Lava Coil. He just decides not to use it. I was going to say,
Did
the
you
onus is on
discard it?
him.
What do you discard there? Oh, that was a maximized velocity.
Yeah, discard
Sorry.
the maximized velocity. He still has Lava Coil in hand. Was he digging for a 4th land, I guess?
Yeah,
That's a shame.
I guess he did the math, had enough outs to hit a mountain that he decided it was worth it. But he is outgunned here on these Wild Growth Walkers now. They are 6 and 5. Was one of them still 4? Okay.
Yeah, these... Oh, no, the second one's not a Wild Growth Walker.
Okay. Well, the one Wild Growth Walker is at 6 toughness, which might as well be 1,000.
Yeah, might as well be 1,000. Jake's going to gain at least 3 life a turn.
Right.
Average. There's the 4th land.
Yep, just drew it up backwards.
Robert says that against humans, it keeps big champions in check, so you don't have to double bolt one. Let's be real, the only reason it's in against humans is so they can Reflector Mage it. And you get to say, what, my Narnum Renegade?
Yeah. Yeah, it's like the most cumbersome Curd Ape you can design. It is Death Touch, which Curd Ape does not.
I think Nerd Ape is probably the most cumbersome Curd Ape you could design.
Okay.
Like you gotta have this. You have to have a completely separate card type that typically isn't super aggressive, although it certainly was in that format.
Yeah. That was a pretty fun draft format. Man, I wish energy just wasn't a thing, because really... Alright.
Alright, so there we go. Lava Coil, copy it to get rid of the Wild Growth Walker.
And you're still going to take 7 here.
You're going to take a big old chunk of damage.
So let's see if we can get like a... I mean, Earthquake for 2 would be phantasmal.
Yeah, can it be great?
Jake's going to think about it, and I just... even if you put him on the best possible out, you just still keep attacking, make him have it, right?
He's probably debating attacking with Land or Elf or not.
All right, here's the Fiery Cannonade. So that's going to deal 2 to everything,
All the non-pirates.
except for any pirates you have out there.
Oh, ready to rebuild with a Wild Growth Walker.
All right, so Evan taking the control role. I don't know whether this is by design or
It
This is
can't be
just-
by design. It's not.
this is where we ended up, but
So you need to play a tempo game against them, and I think just stumbling on mana again has left him without any real opportunity to pull ahead.
yeah, those mana foibles.
Combat.
All right. Jake swings in for 1. Got some end of turn action. Just draw a card.
Here we go. Yeah, he needs to see some action. He
We
needs
do
to
need to see some action.
he needs to
for
chain
sure.
3 spells together and at least put this Phoenix into play from the graveyard.
At least make Jake answer it.
Yeah, I'm not sure. He's got 4 or 5 cards in hand. There's draw.
Well, we do have a lava coil, so worst case scenario.
You can lava coil, or we can. What you have to do is maximize velocity, the Wild Growth Walker, and then lava coil it, makes 3 spells.
Yeah, so I don't think he wants to get a Phoenix back this turn. One of the cards in his hand is a dive down.
Okay.
And I think he's trying to cast 3 spells to get a Phoenix back and keep dive
hold
down.
up, dive down. Okay. That's a lot of work.
It is a lot of work, but Lava Coil here is going to buy him an extra turn.
Yep, there it is. I would just say we're 2 spells there, and we've got the jump starter in the bin. Why not?
Here's the
give it a
Carnage
go.
Tyrant.
So a Drake here would be great because he could play a Drake. Jake would probably try and kill it, and he gets to dive it down.
He only has 2 blue. Unless you're talking about the Enigma Drake.
Yeah, the Enigma Drake.
I think he has a Cackling Drake in hand.
Okay. There's the 2 blue.
So we just have to run this out there.
Oh, maybe this is his plan to build up enough 27 instants and sorceries in his graveyard in exile to get the Cackling Drake and then velocity it to win the game.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to get to 27.
All right. So the Enigma Drake's or Cackling Drake is tradable, but you still die. Yeah. He's just, proving that he can deal 13 damage in a turn or something. I don't hate maximize velocity.
No, Maximize Velocity is fine. He just didn't get land in the first game, which is probably a bad keep. Second game, I think was overcautious in trying to get the threat plus dive down online. When playing a threat and forcing him to answer, it slows down Jake's clock enough to where it's just worth it, and then you can get another threat out there and then protect that one.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think he played the second game well, and I think he should have mulliganed the first game's hand, but that just happens sometimes. There's Golgari and Midrange that can attack you from a lot of different angles, and if you let it go long enough, it's going to grind you out.
Right.
That's just going to happen unless you're this Jeskai deck.
Yeah, these
This old store has just one foil.
these blue decks I feel are very they're the kind of decks where you can build them and you're going to win some games based on like the power of what's going on in the deck, but there's a lot of percentage points to gain by becoming acquainted with it, understanding how it matches up against other things.
Absolutely.
Whereas the Golgari midrange deck kind of plays a little. I mean, obviously you make choices depending on board state and whatnot, but you're going to make a lot of the same plays over and over and over again.
Right. You get a lot of different options there, too. Whether you're casting Find or Finality, like, obviously different board states call for different things. Even how you handle Explore changes based on the game state.
For sure. So, yeah, I realized they may have gotten a little esoteric and nitpicky on our last discussion as the round ended, and we never got to your third point regarding Ultimate Masters.
The third point regarding Ultimate Masters. So the third point is kind of where they go from here.
Averaging like
They've said that it's the last Master set, quote unquote, for a while.
Yes.
And the point of the first, or the point of the Master sets entirely were, as I outlined before, to make cards more available, to get more people into Modern, and to get more people into the stores. So, kind of extrapolating the end of the Modern Master series and what it means for what Wizards wants to do is, I think, some interesting discussion. You can say that they're trying to point more people towards Arena, which, as we know, doesn't have.
Right, doesn't go back very far. Just covers Standard right now.
Right. There's some speculation, and there has been since the induction of whatever that fake format was that started with cons, of another format being introduced to kind of bridge the gap.
Frontier.
Frontier.
Yes.
I don't think it'll be Frontier, but I think that there is some merit to that, to being able to control a format better. Their ideology on designing cards has definitely changed from where Modern begins and where we are now.
Yeah, I think where Modern begins, really, they had just finished fleshing out what the block system was.
Right.
And then you get 4 or 5 blocks into Modern, and they start messing with it. You know what I mean, with Lorwyn. And so I think that's why the card power levels are so crazy and all over the place, and why you get such bizarre and powerful decks in Modern.
So we've got a second match on here. Boros Angels versus Abzan. Apparently,
Rick's on a mold of 6.
okay.
And real excited to see this Boros Angels deck again. I think it's a cool one.
Yeah, Boros Angels is good. I sent to you privately a deck list that I think is very good. That's also mostly Boros, I guess. It's mostly white.
Yeah, it's I'm trying to think of the cards in the. There's like 2 cards in the main deck that are red, and then the sideboard has quite a few red cards as well. Was after that discussion. There's this. In our other chat. I didn't know if it was in the group chat or the the you and I chat. This is what it's like, having friends. There it is. Yeah, so the red cards in the main deck are heroic reinforcements. Now this card is a heater. Oh, jeez.
Yeah, you get 2 1/1 tokens, and that gives all your creatures +1/+1 in haste.
Yeah.
Really speeds up the clock, especially curving the You're right there.
Yeah, I keep getting a weird pop up.
Okay. Especially curving History of Benalia into that card is just ridiculous.
Yeah, super good. So you got the knights become 3/3s, and then like they're going to attack, and then they're going to get to attack again.
So we've got a question. Do tokens count for devotion? Not usually, but if the token is a copy of something, then yes.
Yeah, so if it's like a bird token from a swan song, it's not going to count. But if it is, a clone of
Pack rat.
a pack rat,
That
there you
was
go.
very relevant at the time.
Yep,
of
there you
devotion.
go. Man, we did it with all Theros cards.
We did it.
Go team.
I literally just bought
All right, so we got the angels on the board. We got the 3/3 angel,
Yeah, we got,
4/4 because we've got Lyra.
yeah, we got a Resplendent Angel, a Lyra. Tristani is making some soldiers. I gotta imagine that Resplendent Angel is gonna start making other angels because it's getting +1/+1 on lifelink now.
and then it's 3 counters here.
Yeah, and so anytime that you gain that life with Resplendent Angel, you get to make another angel,
Just keep on pumping them out.
and eventually you're going to get angelic all over that Abzan.
Yeah, Rick with a pretty healthy
Yeah, he's
life
got a life
buffer
total
here.
of his own. That's not shabby.
Yeah, so he can take some hits.
Oh, yeah. It's
This Wild Growth Walker is enormous. Don't know what he was trying to bait there, but this Vivian read on top is a big deal.
Where did these +1/+1 counters come from on the?
So he's got the Path to Discovery out. So every time a creature enters the
Oh,
battlefield, it
sure, that's the
explores.
one closest to his deck. All right, so the Resplendent Angel. So if I was only going to attack with one, I would just attack with the Lyra, because you want to. It's a lifelink race.
Yeah. So the Lyra is going to go away next turn, probably.
So it's a 5,
All right.
6, it's 11. 11? Yep. Trigger plan. And I gain 11. Not mad.
All right, so we're going to have a big life swing here. Mike is going to go up to 29,
Yep.
26, 29.
Go ahead.
There's an angel. Rick down to 22. So here comes Vivian. I got to imagine she's going to take down this Lyra.
Yep. But
She's
the
got a lot of work cut out for her, though. There's going to be some angels coming down. This Resplendent Angel can pump itself again, make even more. But you might be winning the race at that point. I think first order of business has to be to take down the Lyra.
yeah, so the Resplendent Angel, you just get to pump it anyway. Like you're just going to generate a new angel every turn.
Right, but it gives the other angels +1/+1 in lifelink.
Well, that's the Lyra's job.
That's what I'm saying. You want to kill the Lyra here.
Right.
Yes, Resplendent Angel is going to gain some life, and you're going to get another angel that pops up here.
Yep, I would chump off. Yep, chump the Wild Growth, and then put that first striker in front of a lifelinker as well. Because if you can take down his lifelinkers, that makes. This might just me being lazy, but it makes the math easier. And I think you're going to win the race a little bit quicker. If he's not gaining life as well.
I definitely think getting lifelinkers off the board is important here because this is 100% a race at this point. He knows about the Vivian because it was explored to the top.
Yep.
That's dead. Yep.
All right, 2 damage on the angel token. Here's the Vivian.
He dies.
And Vivian, gotta think it's gonna kill this Lyra. I would have probably killed it pre-combat. Because that angel token gained +1/+1 in lifelink, right?
Yep. Other angels you control get +1/+1 and have lifelink. Oh, he kills the resplendent angel.
That's interesting.
So, Mike's still tenning you
Yeah,
every
there's-
turn.
Yeah, and you're still gaining 10. It's interesting.
Wyatt, Vivian. Sure.
No. Resplendent gains lifelink. And it gives all the other angels lifelink as well.
Yeah, Lyra gives all their angels you control +1/+1 in lifelink.
I screwed that up. Go
And
ahead.
Resplendent gives itself +3/+3 in lifelink, I believe.
It makes itself a 5/5 naturally.
Okay.
Or it's a 3/3 naturally. Gives itself +2/+2 to be a 5/5, and that will trigger its end of turn ability
Gotcha.
of making the angel.
Let's see. Because that would have been.
Yeah, this is interesting.
Press.
All right, so we've got a...
Vraska's Contempt to exile the Lyra. I don't know if it's something that matters here, but all right, the angel blocks.
So I'm going to take 6,
Take another big chunk of damage.
7, 8, 11, 10, 11.
This is looking like Rick is going to grind this one out. I don't know what's in Mike's hand.
I also would love to see this first striker blocking some things. Like, it could have blocked the Jade Light here. Oh, it can't because of the Tristani. I'm sorry.
Right.
I'm sorry, I'm wrong. I'll shut up. Yeah. Yes.
Mike is drawing lands, I'm guessing.
The 8th land is frustrating.
Listen, I love playing 8 lands. If I'm playing my 8th land and I'm not dead, I'm real happy.
Oh, yeah?
That is my life, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Lots of lands for me.
Gonna really,
So double explore.
It's really exploring the space.
Yeah, we're going to keep that on top in all likelihood. So we get a counter. We get 2 counters on the Wild Growth Walker and gain 6 life.
Jeez.
We get a counter on the Branch Walker. Or he's just not going to do it. Here's a Shalai. Oh, here we go.
Oh, nope, that stays at 1. There you go.
There we go. We figured it out.
Shalai.
All right, so Shalai is going to explore this Conclave of the Tribunal to the top again. And here
That
come
one's new. There you go.
troops.
All right. We're going to double block Tristani.
8, 9, 10.
Okay.
So I think the Angel's going to live there. Is Tristani at 2/4 naturally?
Literally.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's taking a huge chunk of life here. Down to 2.
I wasn't kidding.
So
3.
let's see.
You good? Yeah, go ahead.
No Deafening Clarion.
I mean, Deafening Clarion doesn't stop the Wild Growth Walker.
Yep.
I got an X there, finally.
Still had all these finalities.
Yep. Looks like Rick took that one down.
Yeah, so we tied this up 1-1. We got 15 minutes left.
Brought in.
This Abzan build is a little weird to me. I like playing either green-white splash black or even green-black splash white, but I'm not a fan of playing like Vraska's Contempt in a March of the Multitudes deck.
Sure.
That seems a little taxing on the mana base.
Yeah, I think you have to. I think you have to make your decision. So I think 3-color decks are cool.
Oh, that might have
Oh,
been
that
the
might
game
be
3.
it.
Yeah,
Yep.
they can't find,
Okay.
they can't find these.
So yeah, I agree that 3-color decks give you a lot more flexibility in deck building, and they let you adapt to a metagame much more thoroughly, we'll say.
Sure.
But yeah, the mana base isn't there for a lot of these yet.
Right. Picking your spots is the critical point. So like one or the other. So if you want to play Vraska's Contempt, maybe you can't play March of the Multitudes. You want to play March of the Multitudes, maybe replace Vraska's Contempt with Assassin's Trophy. You know what I mean?
Necrotic Wound.
Even though it's not a burn deck.
Criminally underplayed in this format.
Necrotic Wound.
Necrotic Wound. Very good.
Is this the 1-mana enchantment that?
It's not an enchantment.
Oh, it's an instant that checks your graveyard for
Yeah.
creatures.
It exiles too.
Oh, it exiles the guy. Okay.
Yeah, it's a very strong one. does well against a lot of the cards that traditionally pick on. Do we have a game 3? Oh no, Rick won 2-0. Okay, they're just shuffling back up. Yeah, it takes care of a lot of the cards that traditionally pick on the Golgari lists, like Arclight Phoenix and the Honor Guard, the Takali Honor Guard.
Oh sure, yeah, that was an evolution that Brad Nelson was playing at the Grand Prix 2 weekends ago.
Yeah, it was.
Holy
it was
smokes.
around a bit before that, but certainly Brad Nelson popularized it and kind of blew up from there.
The Pro Tours this weekend, yes.
Mm-hmm.
That just got me real happy.
Real happy.
Fantastic. Turkey and Pro Tour recaps on Saturday night.
It'll be good.
All right, so they're gonna kick one around for fun. Where would you, if you were gonna cut off to create a new, kind of larger than standard format, where would you make the cutoff?
Origins.
You like the Origins cutoff?
Yeah.
For what reasons?
So I think that you get a more consistent design ideology that way, and you don't have fetches in the format, which a lot of people don't like because fetches just make your mana do whatever you want. But fetches are actually just awful for a format's health.
All right.
Great fixing, terrible for having to shuffle a million times in a game.
Yeah, terrible for deck design. Like
Yeah.
you can say it lets you play more decks because you get, more options.
Yeah.
But I think if you go back as far as Origins, you get as many options as you want, right? We have do we have all the filter lands?
Here's the Honor Guard. You don't get filter lands. Filter lands are just Shadowmoor.
Okay. But you get all the shock lands, all the buddy lands.
You get shocks, you get buddies, you get the cycling lands from Amonkhet, you get the Oath lands, the Shadow lands.
Yeah.
A lot of options there. It is 2-0. They're just playing around for
You're having a good time.
yucks. But I think this match we'll see, this game we'll see, not that it matters anymore, this Takali Honor Guard really requires an answer. That costs 3 mana. I assume he's going to tap this elf. Yeah,
There it is. So now we're gonna you're gonna see.
So typically when you have the Honor Guard in the deck, you really want to back it up with a fast clock.
Right.
So it's kind of caused these Boros decks to go lower to the ground.
Yeah, Adanto Vanguard is a card that a lot of people are bringing into their Boros lists.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know that I want to go up as high as Lyra. But obviously Lyra is a very powerful card.
Yes, Lyra is quite the deal.
Quite the dilly. So a big chunk of damage there. And you see the damage that was inflicted on Rick for just having to take the turn off to deal with this Takali Honor Guard.
Yeah, he's really full on 4 mana spells.
Here's a
Let's see
Wild
if
Growth
this
Walker.
Wild Growth Walker is on. Oh, gets to explore himself and gain some. That's pretty cool. There's another one. Okay. I see you, Wild Growth Walker. Puts him right back in the game.
Man, he's going to gain a bunch of life off of this one.
So there's 6. And a Trumpeter of his own.
Probably leaving that one on top.
No, that's only on 1.
And they're both on 2.
Oh, is that not a...
Oh, okay.
So the first one revealed a land.
So I gain
The second one revealed a Bugler.
Yeah.
2 more, so 6 for the 20. Yep.
But yeah, if you're going to beat the Boros deck, this life gain's where it's at.
Yeah, the
It was
whole...
a huge turn for Rick.
Agreed.
Oh, also, I saw this 5th land.
No, I did. Oh, I did that one. Okay, yeah, go ahead.
No, I don't. I lied.
sorry.
He should. I don't think he played a land this turn, unless he didn't play a land last turn.
Yeah, because he had Aurelia and attacked with it, so that had to have been his 5th turn.
He'll get a plus.
Right, so turn 3, Rick played the Vraska's Contempt off of the Llanowar Elf.
Right.
Turn 4, he played the Path of Discovery, and this was turn 5. But he might have played the Path of Discovery off of Llanowar Elf. I don't remember.
Yeah.
Here's a Resplendent Angel.
Yeah, you gotta keep swinging. So keep committing to the board. I like Resplendent Angel getting mentored by Aurelia here.
Yeah, Aurelia is just a really good, really well-designed card. Like, the numbers on it are just perfect, I think.
You think they're...
Some good numbers.
I feel like I would do something like give it 2 triggered abilities and make Aurelia's power, target creature's power +1, and then have it have the mentor ability, so it can always mentor.
Okay. Yeah.
But she's like a naturally an 04 or whatever. It's not very flavorful to have her just be an 04 on her own. She's supposed to be like this powerful angel character.
Right.
So, might have missed on that, but I want her to always mentor.
Always mentor.
I want to guarantee a mentor.
I mean, I think she is... She mentors enough for me.
Yeah.
She's a 2/5 base.
Here's Shalai. And so with Shalai in play, Rick can literally just sit back on these 2 Wildgrowth Walkers and never worry about another thing again. He can gain, 6 life every time he casts a creature, and he's always going to be able to cast a creature because he's, rolling through a card every time he looks at,
The one thing that could change that is Mike having an answer for the Shalai, but I think we're just full up on Lyras in hand. Here's the first of the Lyras.
Yep. All the big angels. So let's see. Shalai's a 4/5 right now with the counter. So nothing can really attack very well.
Where are you putting her trigger? I'm going to put it on him. Okay.
So
Oh yes, it can.
the Aurelia is huge.
Yeah. So Aurelia can mentor can target itself and then mentor the Resplendent Angel, making the Resplendent Angel a 5/5 permanently.
Plus,
Well, until Lyra leaves. But yeah,
it's right now this guy's
Right.
4/5.
they going to be big angels.
Where's her attack trigger?
This happens.
My point is, Shalai cannot effectively block either of these.
Right, but where
Angels.
Where are you putting her +2/+0? I'm going to give it to her. Just search all. Okay. Okay.
Should we have some angel on angel violence, perhaps?
Yeah. Okay. The mentor trigger is going.
It's really going to be
Where's her first attack?
A lot of pointing going on. Just pointing in a lot of different things. Somebody pointed that bugler.
Yeah, on the first one. Okay. Yeah.
You need the spider to go point out this bugler.
Just point.
Yeah. I know.
There we go.
I thought you were putting her +2/+0.
More pointing. There we go.
Yeah, that's why.
Yeah, maybe 10 mana.
Oh, pointing at him.
Oh, we're pointing at players now.
Jeez.
Lots of aggressive targeting. All right. So Aurelia's a 4/5 on her own. Resplendent's a 5/5, and it's going to generate an angel because it has
Because
a
why
trigger
not?
ability.
Then go to 8. And I will go.
Lyra gives it lifelink, and
I don't think anybody's ever complained about there being too many angels.
yeah, wouldn't know what that was like. Too many angels. It's like too many cooks.
Well, that is a serious problem.
It spoils the broth.
It does. I don't think too many angels really spoils anything, except for maybe Rick's dreams of winning this garbage match. Not that it's a bad match, just that it's in garbage time.
Oh, sure. Yeah, garbage time, quote unquote. It's one of my favorite Magic experiences when you're playing a goof around game, and it becomes a really good game. So you like care about winning it.
Yeah.
So like a lot of goof around games, you're just like kind of throwing cards at each other and mashing. But sometimes you're like, oh man, this game is great, and I really want to win it now. It's a great great thing about Magic the Gathering. Sound like I'm from the Sandlot. Just love.
Oh man, this Llanowar elf is getting busy.
Llanowar elf, feeling
Did not expect the elf in the red zone.
fine. All right. This attack is actually going to yield Mike life. Oh, he has to block carefully because Shalai is going to get activated here.
Potentially.
I can assure it.
You can assure it. Wow.
I
So Rick has a finality in hand. I think he's trying to bait a block from the Lyra.
Yeah. So we've got our next round in hand. Oh, man. Former 10-match bounty holder against current headhunted Jake Valentine.
Yeah, we got that one coming up here in just a moment.
All right, we're going to take a breather. We promise to let you guys know how this... It won't end because we're going to start the next round. So
It's
we're
basically
sorry.
over here. Yeah, we've got a Vivian. We can blow up one thing.
All
Doesn't
right.
actually matter because he's dead on the swing back.
All right, we're going to take a minute, stretch our legs, get this match set up, and we'll be right back.